Oh my God, is that a meatloaf? Oh, and it looks delicious. Here it is, the gigantic meatloaf that I made earlier, and it's totally stuffed. This thing is kind of pizza styled. So you got the Parmesan cheese in the top, the marinara, the meat, which is ground beef and sausage, totally stuffed with mozzarella and pepperonis. And you got the marinara up here, and there is also 2 pounds of potatoes on the bottom. So potatoes, 2 pounds, meatloaf, just meat and cheese and pepperonis, 7 pounds, and then we got a pound of sauce here. So this thing's about 10 pounds. Oh. But it looks delicious, it smells delicious. I'm starving. I love meatloaf and mashed potatoes, especially if it's Italian style. So let's get it going here in 3, 2, 1. Meatloaf. Oh yeah, that's some A1 meatloaf we got here. What is better than a giant chunk of meat in loaf form? You ask me today, I'm gonna say straight up nothing, because this thing is delicious. This meatloaf, definitely not your ordinary meatloaf, considering it is pizza style with all the delicious mozzarella and pepperoni on the inside. Got this idea from wanting to eat a giant meatloaf along with the pizza, so I thought this would be a good combo. Yeah, there's a lot of mozzarella in this thing, that's for sure. Yeah, oh my God, and that marinara on here, it's really, really good. Ugh. I was so hungry. This is really, really good. You could also think of this as the thickest meatball you have ever seen in your life. I think just from the size of it that even the whale would have trouble making meatball subs out of this thing. Definitely a lot of meat. At the beginning, it was 9 pounds of raw meat. If I ever go to Italy, I'm hoping this is the meatloaf I get. Probably be way better over there, but this definitely is not bad, that's for sure. I have no idea if people are actually eating meatloaves over in Italy. For this pizza meatloaf here, I think the only thing that could have been better is if I would have put more marinara sauce on the giant meatloaf, with it being about 3 pounds of sausage and about 6 pounds of beef. Definitely a good combo, definitely juicy, and definitely flavorful. Good thing this thing is saucy, because there is a lot of it. And this definitely ain't your mama's meatloaf, unless your mama Googled Italian meatloaf or pizza meatloaf. Then you might be getting one of these. Mashed potato recipe also found on Google, and those things not light on the calories. There's like 2 sticks of butter in there, a whole bunch of cream cheese, which I thought was interesting, but came out really tasty. And we got the diesel here. Let's keep it going. Diesel being water. Got to stay hydrated out here when taking on a gigantic Titanic meatloaf. And there's definitely a lot of salt in this thing, so definitely not light on the sodium. Other seasonings were stuff like Italian seasoning, oregano, pepper, everything else you needed to make it super Italian. Still a lot of meatloaf to go. The never-ending loaf. I don't think I've ever seen an actual restaurant challenge where they have a meatloaf and mashed potatoes. If there is one out there, let me know down in the comments. There are definitely some huge burgers out there where if you take the buns off that thing, it'd probably be a gigantic chunk of meat similar to this. The calorie count for the meat alone in this meatloaf is somewhere around 6,000. Good thing this meatloaf is delicious, that's for sure. Whoa. We got a live one. The difficulty with eating this much meatloaf is when it gets cold, everything just kind of stiffens up just like any other cold food. The mozzarella in the middle, basically one huge string cheese. So the beef and everything else would have went down a lot easier if it was able to be reheated, but still delicious even if it's kind of cold. Getting to what is hopefully the end here, because this is a lot of meat, that's for sure. Yeah, I was getting a little bit full here. The meatloaf was fighting back, and there's only so much meatloaf a guy can hold in his body. With this being like 10 pounds of food, this is basically my max capacity as far as how much I can eat at the moment. In this setup I have here, I'm actually standing and wearing some stretchy pants, which goes a long way when you're trying to take down a giant meatloaf. The only side effect of trying to eat this much meatloaf is a really good time and insane amounts of muscle growth. That's a joke. Don't eat this much meat. The only other major risk from eating this much meatloaf is getting a good case of the itis. If you don't know what the itis is, it's when you eat a bunch of food and immediately feel tired and lay on your couch and take a nap. Definitely wish I had some more mashed potatoes at this point, because that was making the meat a lot easier to actually get down, and they were super delicious. Although not Italian, they were just regular mashed potatoes, and they were very, very good. Another good pairing of mashed potatoes would be something like garlicky, herby, buttery. Really complement the Italian meatloaf well, although these regular mashed potatoes, pretty good. Yeah, I'm feeling a little rough right now. Let's see if we can get it done though. So close, yet so far away. The last bit of a giant meatloaf like this, definitely the hardest part. Won't keep me away from a delicious meatloaf though. So a little bit left. Like an hour in, and yeah, I've said it before, but this is a lot of meatloaf, but it tastes great. So if we get it done here. All right, I'm calling this the last bite. Alright, that was a lot of food. But yeah, it was great. It was really good. Marinara sauce, the beef, and the sausage mixture made the meatloaf definitely awesome. It's my first meatloaf, so I'm probably going to have to try some more because that was pretty good. So, and the mashed potatoes are awesome. So. Alright guys, I hope you like meatloaf, hope you liked this video, and I will see you in the next one. Oh my god, is that a meatloaf? Oh, and it looks delicious.